and high talented guys to get boring. And it's fascinating sometimes to watch Z and obviously he gets to go up against Giannis tonight. Those guys match up. It's fun to watch. As a supporter of basketball, just in general, it's just fun.
And when you flip on the film, I assume from a year ago of Joe Ingles, they're hoping to get him back tonight. What are you expecting? What do you think he's going to bring to them that your defense will need to be ready for?
First and foremost, just savvy. He's a guy that another high IQ basketball player on the floor for the Bucks that can spread you out with his three-point shooting. He can play make and handle the ball and pick and rolls. He's smart defensively, so he brings a ton of value to their squad that's already one of the top teams in the East. So, it makes their team that much better.
Is physicality the operative word here tonight? You put up on the board and circle it?
It's definitely a part of tonight's game. I thought we had some slippage in that area the last three games that we played, so we something we talked about as a group and we need to address.
Zion and Giannis are 1-2 in points in the paint. Do you have any thoughts on ways maybe they score similarly in there and ways they're different?
I think they're similar in the fact that they're just aggressive. They understand their games. They kind of stay within themselves. They know that they can get to the paint and score over smaller guys or guys that aren't as big as they are in terms of physicality. I think they both are adding some components to their games. Giannis is shooting the ball more than he did before. He's trying to add that to his game. Z is shooting it as well, mid-range, and they get to the free throw line. So that's what they do well. So a lot of similarities there.
Yeah, and Zion, will bull rush in there and finish it with a soft touch. What do you think about just the touch around the rim that he shows?
Amazing that he can get in there and it looks like his shot is getting ready to get blocked and he some way finagles it around you and just kiss it off the glass. It's always, for me, fascinating to see. I'm starting to get used to it, but at the same time, it's so hard to do. So it's what makes him as talented as he is, and it's what makes him as dynamic as he is as a player.
Yeah, you had to deal with Giannis in the finals a couple years ago.
Don't remind me of that.
And you see it all the time with Z, but just how difficult is it for a defense to consistently build that wall and have multiple guys in the path when a guy just keeps going at the rim the way those two guys do?
It's a difficult task, but we're up to the challenge. It's what you have to do when you face him, is that not only do you have to build a wall and shift and try to keep him out of the paint, but you got to keep doing it every possession because he doesn't stop. It's what makes him a great player, is that he works on his transition opportunities. He can handle the ball in the open floor. He's fast. And if you give him a few steps, not only is he getting to the lane, but he's also getting fouled and getting to the free throw line. So it's an area that we need to do a good job in.
And you guys' rebound numbers are down a little bit from where they were last year. What are you kind of telling the guys to kind of address that issue?
Number one, we got to hit bodies. I think, last season, especially early in the year, our offensive numbers wasn't as great. So we were gaining so many extra possessions by crashing. This year, we're a better team offensively, but we've definitely taken a step back in our offensive rebounding numbers, our rebounding numbers in general. We have to do a better job of hitting bodies and not trying to out-jump every team. And that's just the deal for us. It's something that we're looking at and something that we have to get better at.
Coach, the Bucks do one thing exceptionally well defensively, and that's sealing off the paint. And that's something that they have prided themselves on for years. Your team relies on points in the paint, and you haven't been shooting well as of late. How big of a challenge is that for you tonight on the offensive end to be able to get those 50, 60-plus points in the paint against a team like Milwaukee?
Well, we're understanding that no matter who we play, we got to play our style. Getting to the paint, getting to the free throw line, that's something that we do well. It's something that we'll go out and tonight try to impose our will. It's not about, for us, what other teams are trying to force us to do. We can make some adjustments, but it's a big part of our game. It's a big part of their game. They try to force teams to shoot. At least they used to try to force teams to shoot a ton of threes. I think they're better at that this season of taking away threes. But it'll be us playing our style pretty much.
And then you guys have been giving up a lot of threes as of late, 16 over each of the last 3 games, roughly on average. And then the points off turnovers. What are you planning to show offensively, or there's something that you reemphasize with the team about taking care of the basketball and taking good shots?
The taking care of the basketball factor is we just have to be better. And it's something that our guys understand, that we have a chance to be good, but we can't give teams a ton of extra possessions. And then when we are turning the ball over, we're not getting back in transition. So those are non-negotiables that can really hurt us, that has been hurting us, an area that we're looking to address. And really it's about being sound on the offensive end. You don't have anything, swing it to a teammate, but we can't have live ball turnovers because it definitely kills us.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Bobby Portis and what you've seen from him in preparation for this one. He scored above his average the last few games, different circumstances, guys in and out, but just wondering what you've maybe seen in terms of how he's been able to do damage offensively.
Number one, when you think about Bobby Portis, he's sort of the enforcer on their team. He's a physical guy that can mix it up on you and take you down to the post. He can pick and pop, shoot threes, but he's a basketball player at the end of the day that kind of knows his role, and he does it well. When they take guys out of the lineup and he's starting or he's in the second unit, he comes in and he does damage right away. So he's another guy on their team that has a ton of experience that we have to be aware of.
Is Larry officially out?
Larry's out, yeah.
Devonte and Trey both told us earlier today, you told the team that you guys left your defense in New Orleans. Without Larry, much more difficult does that become, not having a guy who you like to use in switching situations?
It's an opportunity for other guys to step up, and that's the way it's been all season for us. When guys go down with an injury, other guys need to be ready, and they have been ready to step in and play. As far as defensively, it's a mindset more than anything. We have to walk onto any team's floor or our floor with a mindset that first and foremost we need to get stops, we need to contest shots, and we need to finish possessions with a rebound. The last 3 games, we haven't been great in those areas. Still a ton of good, and it's what I told the guys, like, we're not even fully healthy, and you guys are one of the best teams in the league. But we have to be consistent and have a standard every time we step on the floor. I just didn't think we did a good enough job the last 3 games. Okay, thank you guys.